Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my wonderful sweet babies, it's Destin Choice, and for today's video I really want to get on here and speak about Cardi B's recent Instagram live rant and how she doesn't even know what to do with herself because of all the shit that's happening right now.
Everybody's having a hard time in their countries right now because right now I feel like nobody understands what's going on with this COVID shit. Like, this COVID shit has affected our economy everywhere, not just America. It has affected the economy everywhere. A lot of people don't want to work. A lot of people don't feel like they want to go to work because they don't want to get sick and they feel like they're not getting paid enough to go to work, and God forbid some bullshit happens to them. And all of a sudden, you keep seeing this COVID shit rise back to back, back to back, back to back. I don't know what's going to happen next. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. There might be another lockdown the way that this shit is going. And I feel like we are not prepared for another lockdown. And also, the crimes have been going up everywhere. And my thing is that it's like, you know, just when we think the shit is going good, shit goes back and it's turning bad again. And I feel, because y'all know how I am, I'm a very religious person. I'm starting to wonder, and I don't like to tie things to religion, but I can't help to ask God, like, it's like, God, are you punishing us? Are you punishing us, God? Are you punishing our children? All right, tell it with me. Like it's like, I can't help to think that, because I be feeling like every single day, you know, we're not aware what's going on all over the world, but it's like every single day, if you see the news, right? If you see the news, there's crimes going on every day. There's people raping people. There's people killing people. There's people killing people and then laughing about it. Like, it's like, I just be feeling like people just don't have empathy anymore. Like, people are just not humans anymore.
And one thing I will say is this. Cardi B is very brave to be saying some shit like this, because this is coming from a girl who literally is a mainstream celebrity. I'm saying I'm a little bit shocked because you guys know that all, well, if not some or most celebrities are satanic puppets who all read off of a damn teleprompter because they're all owned and all their souls are owned and they have to push a certain agenda in order to get paid. But one thing I will say is Cardi B in her Instagram live basically summed up the whole New World Order theory. Now, everyone always talks about the New World Order or the global reset, but no one ever really elaborates on it. They just say cryptocurrency, one world government. Like, no one ever really goes into a deep dive explanation of what might actually happen with the New World Order. But here's my interpretation, and here's a list of my predictions, piggybacking up a lot of what Cardi B said. So basically, in a nutshell, the New World Order is when the government makes you their bitch. They make you their bitch to the point where they grab you by your fucking ponytail, they grab you by your fucking ear, and they make you do what the fuck they say. AKA, imagine leaving your house and being told, oh, hey, sorry, curfew, it's time for curfew, you gotta go back indoors. Or, hey, sorry, no, you can't go to this nightclub because, you know, your social score is too low. Or, hey, oh, no, sorry, you can't eat that meat anymore because that meat is toxic. You know what I mean? Imagine being told what you can eat, how you can dress, how you can talk. Or, hey, you can't sit there because there's too much bacteria. You need to go back home, or you need to go sanitize and go take an extra shower. You know what I mean? Almost like, what if your whole daily life was controlled by a one world government? And a good example is this. People always talk about the one world currency, and people always connect to cryptocurrency. Personally, I don't believe cryptocurrency is going to be the actual currency that everybody will use. I believe that it'll be something temporary, because I believe it's just a beta. I believe it's just a mock version, aka a pre-test, meaning they're testing us to see how we like it, see how we react to it, and then when the kicker comes, they say, okay, we're taking this shit away. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Conspiracy theorists, it's dangerous. Here's the real shit. And they all give us the real version of the electronic currency that we all use. And I feel like a lot of the electronic currency we use is going to be linked to our damn thumbprints. I mean, think about it. A lot of us already use Apple Pay anyways. Some of us already use, you know, online shopping anyways. And some of us already use our damn facial recognition to pay for shit anyways. So, hell, why wouldn't they want to implement a society where a lot of us use our thumbprint to pay for everything, or we use our damn DNA to pay for shit, you know? A lot of it also correlates to the social credit score system. I talked about this in videos in the past, but a social credit score system is one of the worst things that could ever fucking happen, but it also has its benefits. Part of the New World Order, where they implement thousands of cameras everywhere you go that can recognize your every single move. Now, if you guys didn't know, China is a good example. China has a good example because they have millions of cameras to cover the entire land of China. And basically, every single one of those cameras are able to pinpoint exactly who you are, your address, your social media profile, and your social score, which means Imagine if, let's say, a lot of us operate on a social score from 100 to 300. 300 being the best, 100 to being the worst. Let's say you, for example, want to just go online and rant about how you feel about the state of the world and politics. Oh, sorry, we just deducted 10 social scores from your social credit score. Sorry, now that we deducted 10 points, now you can't shop at Whole Foods. You can't buy organic food anymore. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, you just flipped somebody off during traffic. We're going to deduct your social credit score to 50 points. So now you're almost down to like a 220. So now you can't book that flight out of the country. Sorry, you can't go to the Middle East to go visit your family. Sorry, you can't, go to the Bahamas to go turn up and drink alcohol with your bitches anymore. You have to stay home. You have to stay in America. You have to stay here. That's what I mean. Almost like basically you have to be a fake bitch or you have to be on your best behavior or the government is going to deduct your score. And let me tell you why they're going to feel the urge to do this shit. They're going to feel the urge to do this shit, in my personal opinion / prediction, because crime has fucking gone up. If you live in a metropolitan city like Jersey City, Newark, New Jersey, maybe Manhattan, New York, Brooklyn, New York, Los Angeles, California, San Francisco, Chicago, Illinois, any big city, more than likely, you probably know that crime has gone up, especially in Atlanta. Oof, God, Atlanta, Houston, all those major cities, crime has gone up because of many of the few things, the whole defund the police parade. And before a lot of y'all who are liberal as fuck come on here and say, defund the police doesn't mean getting rid of police. I know what the fuck defund the police means, but I think defund the police is just complete nonsense and bullshit. But many cities have actually implemented this whole defund the police, aka Washington State is a good example. Many states have actually implemented the whole pulling back on police, and that has caused crime to skyrocket. And it wasn't just a police thing, that's just a good percentage of it. The fact that since so many police are walking out on their jobs due to the lack of benefits, the lack of pay, and the excessive amount of hours, a lot of police are quitting, they're finding more remote jobs, they're finding more other side gigs, some of them are starting businesses, some of them are doing more security gigs, some of them are staying at home, doing things like tech work or doing any fucking thing other than trying to interact with people. Because we know we're in a pandemic. Police typically always have to interact with people. They always have to be in their cars. They always have to defuse situations. They always have to interact with people. It's part of their job. But many cops are probably afraid of the whole Omarion variant bullshit. And now a lot of them probably want to stay the fuck home because they don't want to deal with the fact that they have to go out in the real world and then go back to their families and probably put their family at risk because they can probably get this damn Omarion variant bullshit right along with all the other Pokemon formation that it's turned into, You just never know. So those are good examples. So imagine if, because crime has gone up, the police have been pulled back, they tell us, oh guys, look, crime has gone up. Because remember guys, police brutality, you remember guys, all this other stuff happening. Remember, guys, police are assholes. Police are pigs. And remember, guys, robbers, killers, they're on the loose. And remember, guys, we're releasing prisoners out into the world because our prisons are overpacked. And since our prisons are overpacked, we're releasing to the real world, and that's what's causing crime to skyrocket. Oh, and remember, guys, we're decriminalizing a lot of things like shoplifting and robbery. We're giving people a lot of slaps on the wrist. So, we're not doing much about crime these days because we're too worried about our own assets and being rich.
From smash and grabs to follow home robberies, when it comes to the rising crime, the Melrose district has seen the worst of it. That's why neighbors along the famous avenue have banded together to install plate recognition technology.
We've explored it, we're in contract on it, and we're moving forward on it.
Peter Nichols is with Melrose Action. He didn't want to disclose how many of the cameras are being acquired or where they are located, but says they're on both residential and commercial properties.
We are literally deploying this program privately. We're not involving the city or city property or anything.
Melrose Action has already raised more than $27,000 for the technology and is raising more through a GoFundMe. Nichols says the hope is that the plates of criminals in crimes like this one will be picked up, and adds the data will only be accessible to law enforcement, not community members.
Even a criminal who might be wanted by a plate, associated with a plate, maybe from Miami-Dade County, who could be roaming this area and may have committed a crime here, that car is potentially traceable and law enforcement could intervene.
Nichols acknowledges the move might raise privacy concerns, but says malls, businesses, and even about 200 HOAs in Southern California have installed similar cameras, but believes when it comes to areas as heavily traveled as Melrose, the private initiative is the first of its kind.
This is a world-famous destination. We want to make it safe for everybody.
Cities says Atlanta is not alone. In St. Louis last year, murders increased by 35%, by 18% in San Jose, in Austin, 42%, Detroit, 19%, and New York City saw an increase of 45%.
So you had the pandemic and all the suffering and the abandonment of communities that went into that. Then you had this proliferation of guns. It creates the potential for more altercations to become lethal, for more fights to become shootings.
Historically, crime in American cities rose sharply between the 1960s and the 1980s, then fell from the 90s through 2014 when numbers again began to climb. The 2020 surge, Sharkey says, was notable. And calls for racial justice and police reform, he believes, also played a role.
Police may decide not to get involved in an incident where they have some discretion of whether to respond or not. Residents may also decide to check out and no longer call the police.
So let's implement a whole bunch of cameras everywhere that'll detect your emotion, that'll detect your social credit score, that'll detect who you are, and that can identify you and see through your mask. A lot of you guys can't really get upset if they were to implement the whole facial recognition cameras like how they do in China that can identify your blood type, who you are, your DNA, your social media profile, if you're a good citizen, if you're a kind person. A lot of us, believe it or not, have kind of tolerated it because it's already in our iPhones. Some of y'all literally use your iPhones to identify your face. Some of y'all also use your iPhones to literally open it with your thumbprint. So you see what I mean here when I say that a lot of us have traded our privacy for conveniency.
And also, a good example was the Citizens app. So if you guys didn't know, the Citizens app is this new app that's been on the rise ever since the police have been withheld and the police have been barely showing up anytime people call them. The Citizens app is literally like Twitter, but except it's a neighborhood watch version of Twitter. So if people see crime going on, they'll film it, live stream it, and they'll post it on a thread called the Citizens app. And the Citizens app will literally show you people who are doing crimes nearby. For example, somebody lost their dog. And by the way, this isn't sponsored. If someone literally got shot, killed, murdered, harmed, the Citizens app literally shows people who live around your area who will document it and tell you how far away you are, rather you're 0.5 miles away from danger or 0.1 miles away. It's an app where people literally look for their lost dogs. It's an app where people literally look for any danger that's nearby before they head out. And no, this isn't sponsored, but check it out. Check out the app and utilize it. Again, it's not sponsored. This app is literally what a lot of police have been using because people are not calling the police anymore and people are nervous the police won't show up. I mean, yes, the app does track your location, but hell, I mean, people already record danger anyways and post it on Twitter, right? Might as well fucking use the Citizens app.
Because it's so convenient, a lot of us don't care because it's our own iPhone. But imagine if they do it in the real world. Imagine they put cameras everywhere and they'll fuck around and cancel your social credit score. They'll cancel you socially because we already allow cancel culture anyways because it's gone corporate to dictate our lives. So those are good examples. So you just never know. So those are good examples of where I feel like the state of the world is going, where now they're going to have cameras everywhere that detect our every move, and those will be the new police officers. Right along with, who knows, you might even have robotic police officers. Futurama and even The Simpsons predicted it. Now, there are some benefits to it because think about it like this. Imagine if we lived in a world where now human traffickers can get identified. You know, people are always robbing places with masks on. You can never see their face. Or even with the COVID mask, even with the doctor's mask everybody's wearing a mask. So sometimes it's hard to identify people because people are wearing masks. And some criminals and thugs and people will take advantage of that shit and say, well, I wear a mask anyways. Everybody wears a mask, so I won't get recognized. Imagine if they told you, oh, hey, you know, we still on and popping with this damn virus shit, but we got these cameras that can see through people's masks. So they can see through ski masks if somebody's robbing a bank, and they can see through these damn pandemic masks that don't even fucking work because they're cheap as fuck and y'all don't even wash them with your dirty asses. Our cameras can scan through these masks, every single mask. So we should implement them. That's kind of how it'll be. They'll kind of try to manipulate us into thinking that it's a good thing. You see what I mean here? They'll make us think that it's a good thing. So that way we say, oh yeah, that's a good thing. Because anything that the media says, this is incredible, this is astonishing, the whole world would just repeat it because that's why they call it televised programming. The shit people see on TV, people automatically think it's real. That's why they call it televised programming. They're programming us to be okay with it. So if the news says, oh, this is amazing, this is safe, this is going to stop human trafficking, everybody's going to be like, oh, hell yeah, that's an amazing thing. Same thing with the whole global one world currency thing. Let's move on to that. The whole global one world currency thing is usually, let's put it this way, it stems from the fact that they're going to give us their own little version of cryptocurrency that everyone in the US or everyone in the world uses, to the point where a lot of times they can track your income. So let's say you do nails on the side, let's say you do hair on the side, and you accept Cash App, correct? Imagine if somebody pays you for a service and they say, okay, I'm gonna Cash App you, but Uncle Sam says, oh, that person just Cash Apped you $300, bitch, give me 10% of that. Oh, and also give me 15% of this because I want to make sure I put some for Medicare. Oh, and also give me 25% of that because I want to make sure that I line my pockets as well. Oh, and also I want 3% of that because, climate change. Give it here, bitch. That's literally what it's going to be. So those are good examples. If you're a freelancer, you're basically going to be fucked unless you genuinely, report all your finances to the IRS or you organize all your income. So best believe that, things like getting Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle payments for doing a service, a lot of that shit's going to be done with because we're all going to be on a global currency. Let's say you want to, sell candy out of your fucking house and you're only taking cash. Guess what? If they remove cash because we're all on a digital one world currency, all your money that you receive will get taxed. So there's no getting money under the table. There's no accepting cash anymore. Now everything will be digital. Imagine they told us, oh, the COVID is in the money. It's in the money. Everybody will quickly burn their fucking money and stop using it very fast. Let's be honest here. They have ample fucking ways to just get around this. And if they tell us this, then a lot of us will believe it. Because we all know that if anyone even says anything negative about the government or says anything negative about these damn jabs they want to put in your fucking arm, everyone labels you a conspiracy theorist or you're being dramatic, which I get because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of those comments under this video, which I respect. But it's funny because a lot of people don't realize that the media has preconditioned us to believe that whatever we see on the news or whatever they say is safe or whatever the scientists say is safe is true. Because everybody's argument is always, it's science. It's science. Bitch, fuck you and your science. I'll do what the fuck I want because I'm grown. But anywho, those are just a few examples. Another example is the fact that the reason why crime is going up and the reason why everybody's in shambles right now and the whole world is just out of order is because of another thing, inflation. Gas prices have skyrocketed. Why the fuck is a gas in California is like $5.10? Why the fuck when you go to New York, gas be like $4.50? How, bitch? All these fucking cities have high amounts of traffic. You could barely fucking get anywhere because you're sitting in traffic for like fucking 2 hours, even fucking more than 40 minutes for a destination that's literally 4 miles away. And gas prices are going up. It's like the audacity. But the one thing I noticed is meat prices are going up too, which means you won't be able to buy those chicken nuggets that you love so much anymore for about $2. Now those chicken nuggets are going to cost about $6 because now farmers are getting desperate. They're getting taxed more. So what they're doing is they're raising their prices. Oh, you want some chicken nuggets? Oh, $6, bitch. $6. Oh, you want some turkey legs? Oh, we're raising those about 80 more cents. You want milk? We're raising that about $2 extra more. Everything is getting limited now. And I feel like the reason that's being done is because the government is going to try to step in and say, well, meat is dangerous for you anyways. Now, everything is dangerous for you, period, because nothing under the sun is safe unless it comes from nature. We know that. If it has ingredients or a label on it or you could buy it at the store, it's not good for you. We all know that. If nature didn't make it and nature didn't grow it out of the plant and nature didn't produce it, it's probably not good for you.
And where I'm going with it is this. Imagine a world where, meat is so expensive, but try this plant-based meat. Try this meat that we made in a science lab with canola oil, soybean oil, and all these processed chemicals. See, it's vegan. There's no meat in it. It's cheaper. It has veggies in it. And we don't have to kill animals. And plus, we won't have to damage the climate by damaging the animals who breathe into the air and pollute the air. You can now enjoy this vegan meat, this vegan turkey. Even fast food companies like KFC, McDonald's, even fast food companies like Burger King of all fucking places. All these carcinogen, disgusting, horrible food that people still put in their system are literally coming out with vegan options. And a lot of these vegan options are nowhere near safe or healthy because they don't even practice safety precautions when it comes to producing vegan meat. And plus, they literally make their meat in a fucking science lab, if I'm being completely honest with you, if we're really going to just put it in layman's term. But imagine if we live in a society where they tell us, oh yeah, so from now on, everyone eat vegan meat because meat is so expensive. And since meat is so expensive, here's this vegan alternative that you might just like. It's coming. Be very wary. There's a reason why celebrities are investing into it, and there's a reason why y'all need to buy plant-based stocks. And there's a reason why a lot of these meat options are getting expensive, and there's more meat vegan options at grocery stores and even at fast food restaurants.
So those are just good examples of what I mean when I say inflation is literally going to fuck everybody up. The reason why I say things like socialism isn't always the best thing, and hear me out when I say this, because people always get offended, socialism is not always the best thing, because a lot of times, not only will socialism come into effect, socialism will also stir the government to get an extra percentage for themselves. So imagine if they say, oh, we need to make sure that there's an extra, side of money coming in, and we tax everybody and we tax the rich, so that way we can have more extra money, so that way people can have, more child care for their kids, and that way, we can afford to get the homeless people off the streets, and we need to make sure that we tax everybody 10% more, so that way we can give the homeless people food and money. Let me just say this. A lot of people look at that as, yeah, tax the rich. Yeah, they should be taxed because they're rich. They have the money. They can afford it. Here's the thing that people don't realize when it comes to things like taxing the rich and socialism. If you tax the rich, guess who's going to get taxed next? You. Want to know why? Because the rich are the ones who provide the job. Because the jobs are literally provided to you by the rich. So if the rich are the ones that are providing the job, think about it like this. What if they say, hey, so since taxes are going up and we're being taxed because y'all say tax the rich, since I'm rich and I can do whatever the fuck I want, I'm not going to hire as many employees as I was before. So instead of hiring 80 employees at this Walmart location, I'm going to only have to hire 22 employees because, tax the rich. I can't afford to pay these damn state tax, these damn property tax, this damn corporate tax, because I'm getting taxed more and I'm not going to make enough money to feed my damn kids and pay for my damn crack and shit. So, bye to 60 plus employees, hello to only 20 employees. So that's just a good example. So everyone gets affected when you tax the rich. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean when I say we can't just get all hyped when they try to implement things like socialism and they say, oh, we're going to tax people more. We're going to add a 10% this and 20%. That's not something we should all be excited about, because first the rich gets taxed, then we get taxed because the rich are taxing us for wanting that shit for wanting them to get taxed. And then that's what happens. Guess what happens? Real estate prices starts going up to the point where, guess what? Rent goes up. When rent goes up, a lot of us are going to start complaining and saying, damn, why is my rent going up? Why is my rent going up this year? My rent was literally this much 2 years ago. Now, 2 years later, my rent has gone up like $200. Why? Well, because the rich, aka the people who own most of the real estate and the banks and the jobs in the world, most of them can't afford the damn taxes that they're getting. So they need to make sure they get a good profit margin so that way they get enough money for themselves. They need to make sure that they make enough income to feed their own families and then also invest into different avenues. And at the same time, they're not trying to make sure that everyone else is. They're trying to make sure that their asses are covered first. So that's what I mean when I say we can tax the rich, but then it's always at the expense of the people who get employed by the rich because they create the jobs. Rich people create jobs. That's why they're rich. Rich people only get rich from creating jobs. Don't come on here with that whole, well, no, they exploit. That's not always the case. Rich people get rich because they provide most of the jobs. And that's why they get so many tax benefits. And that's why they get so many loopholes, because there's so many avenues to invest their money. It's a whole other thing. I don't make the rules. I didn't make this world. I just live in it. All you can really do is play the game. So what will they do? They're going to go towards big tech, because big tech virtually makes things a lot cheaper for the rich. For example, you go to a lot of restaurants nowadays, a lot of those restaurants have a lot of robotic servers that can literally bring you your food on a robot.
Oh wait, but there's more. There's also robotic room service. So now, if you're in a hotel, you don't have to worry about some bitch bringing you towels or some bitch bringing you wine to your front hotel. You could have a robot bring that shit to you. Warm towels, nice service, and everything. This is literally what's going to happen to people who do things regarding customer service, people who work in the care industry, people who work in the recreational industry. Oh, and guess what? It's essential workers, y'all aren't off limits either, because guess what? Amazon is now working on robots. The TSA program at airports are now working on robots, and also the medical field is now working on robots. So none of us are untouchable, not even entertainers.
Robots play a huge role in Amazon's warehouses, which it calls fulfillment centers. Low-rider robots bring stacks of bins over to employees who fish out what you've ordered and send it off to be packaged.
Hey. An NEVAAA backdrop. There you go. It's a selfie with the NEVAAA.
So how this could potentially impact patient satisfaction, patient outcomes, and the overall experience within the hospital.
Patients are intrigued by Moxie.
They have seen at the door side, they will ask us, hey, what is that? Is that a robot? It's really funny and interesting the way how they look at it, but they are also happy that we are working with it.
So it's been really amazing to look at what we're doing here in the very first phase, very first hospital deployment of a care assistive robot and what the future could hold. Because just the impact that we've seen for our team within this last month, it's amazing what we could potentially give to healthcare in the future.
Because machines are, believe it or not, more reliable than people nowadays. Machines aren't going to get lazy. Machines don't need a break. Machines don't need no overtime. Machines don't need no benefits. Machines aren't going to be crybabies. And machines are not going to ask for a raise. Machines are going to do what they do best, and that's be machines. And guess what? Guess what industry is going to be gone next? Truck drivers. Truck drivers, not just servers and bartenders and janitors and not just those people who do regular services from point A to point B, but truck drivers are also next. Let me tell you why. In the next 10 to 20 years, I don't really see truck drivers existing. I'll say within 15 to 20 years at least. People always praising Elon Musk. They don't realize that he's going to be the reason why there's going to be a huge downfall and a lot of people losing jobs. People are going to want to work more remotely. And guess what? Elon Musk, all he'll have to do is try to find a way to make electric truck drivers. And if you can make electric truck drivers, all they got to do is make an underground tunnel for where all these trucks can go. Because we all know that trucks already have their own highways and their own roads that they go to, right? Imagine if they have electronic truck drivers that go through certain underground tunnels and get from point A to point B. They won't need truck drivers anymore. That's another industry gone. Not just bartenders, not just, maids in hotels, not just receptionists, cashiers, but truck drivers can be gone too. Same thing with entertainers. For example, Whitney Houston, her holograph was on a whole fucking tour back in 2019. How was that possible? Whitney Houston's been dead for more than a decade, but yet her hologram was on tour. We're infatuated about holograms, but Black Mirror said it the best, that entertainers, they're done because they love to complain, they get old, no one cares about them no more. But with machinery and tech, you can make your own entertainer, or you can get an entertainer wherever you want.
An interesting fact, labels are losing money, and they're losing money specifically because with all this damn Pandemic Express shit going on, a lot of labels can't have their artists go on tours no more. And if their artists can't go on tours because everybody's in quarantine or barely anybody wants to get the jab, they all have to worry about another way to make money because their artists are scared to go out. Their artists don't want to get these damn jabs in their arms.
Look at people like XXXTentacion. He's been dead for almost 4 years, but yet they're still able to come out with more music because he's recorded enough music. They can manipulate frequencies. They can lie to us and tell us, oh yeah, that's X. X recorded that before he died. He recorded 300 songs before he died. But little did we know, what if they're just using a machine, making the machine say certain lyrics, say certain things, and then they create animations and then virtual holographs to perform for him. You see what I mean? They already made a whole animation for him for a lot of his music videos since he passed away, because he, of course, couldn't film a lot of his music videos since he passed away. So they created a whole animated version of him in a lot of his music videos. Or they just found extras to dance around and then put animated versions of him in snippets of the music video. Those are just a good example of what I mean when I say entertainers are done too. So believe it or not, Futurama predicted this as well, that entertainers will be replaced by robots. But of course, we all know robots are too cliche. What if they make human beings that look like robots, but are really like holograms? So technically, holograms are just a good example of like modern day robots because they look real, they feel real, and you feel like you can get a connection with a hologram because it looks so real. But with a robot, you see the screws, you see the shininess of it. The robots, you can't connect to those. But they just make holograms, and you can connect to those better, and you don't even notice that it's a hologram anymore because it looks so real. It seems so real. So those are just good examples of just New World Order. And the New World Order, a lot of that is tied to tech, aka the digital currency I talked about, how everybody's going to be using their thumb, and their thumb is going to be connected to one technology database. You know, cryptocurrency is obviously a great way to get rich, but I feel like a lot of us are making our own mousetraps, but you might as well make money off of it. But a lot of us are. I said this in my video one time, but it's true. Cryptocurrency is a trap, but you might as well make some good money off of it because it's the inevitable, and it's biblical, and it's a prophecy. So those are good examples. So tech is going to take over the world. Jobs are going to be out of the way. And also, another thing, doctors will always be around, but to an extent. Imagine if they make a whole machine where they say, okay, step into this machine. This robot will analyze your aura, will analyze your energy, will analyze your blood, and it'll tell you exactly what illnesses are on the way and what diets and what vitamins you need in order to cure yourself, or what vitamins or what diets you need in order to heal yourself from this illness that could potentially come in the next 10 years. What if they create scientific robots or scientific scanners that can analyze your whole body and tell you your health, your weight, and everything instead of a doctor writing everything down on a chart? A computer could be more reliable than a doctor because a computer can store so much data into their brain and doesn't even need a chart to write shit down. Doesn't need to go to a computer to file shit or plug shit in. You know, a robot can literally document all that shit, keep it inside, store it, and email it to everybody or email it to the right resources within seconds instead of a doctor having to do. You see what I mean? So the New World Order is basically big tech taking over. You know, you see it in movies like iRobot, you see it in Futurama, you see it in Back to the Future. Tech taking over. Those are good examples. So that's what I mean when I say the state of the world is kind of going to be trapped in this whole New World Order. So you might as well just adapt. It's kind of unstoppable. You can't really do anything about it. Crime is going up, and it'll give them the best opportunity to implement this whole social credit score where there's cameras everywhere analyzing everything. And then, of course, like I said, jobs being gone because human beings ain't shit, and robots are more trustworthy, and tech is more trustworthy than actual human beings. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't really realize it, but a lot of us will actually be okay with it because they'll manipulate us to be okay with it. Yes, it'll be fucked up, but let's be honest here. Most of us would rather trust Google Maps, aka a fucking robot in disguise, but in our phone, for directions than your grandma or your mom or your friend. You'd rather trust a fucking computer giving you directions than you just reading the maps, reading the signs, and opening up a fucking compass. A lot of us rather trust a computer to tell us where to go than an actual person or to read a map that's on paper. So you see what I mean? We've traded our privacy and freedom for conveniency. So that's inevitable, and people are pretty much gonna, you know, deal with that. And we're all gonna die, and that's pretty much just gonna be that. So there's nothing we can really do about it. All we can really do is assimilate and adapt. And one thing I will say is there are some solutions to a lot of the stuff that's going on, but a lot of stuff you can't really do nothing about. And I guess some of the solutions that I have is maybe a lot of us can do things such as invest into things like tech. If you're into things like television, invest into Roku. You know, Roku is a really good stock to invest into. Cryptocurrency is always going up, always going down, of course, but those are good long-term holds because those will be the future in the near future. Invest into the stock Coinbase. Invest into things like Tesla, because we all know Elon Musk is taking over the fucking world, and he will be taking over space very soon, aka being a space colonizer, because we all know that Futurama predicted this, but there's going to be a whole war zone in space very soon, because we believe that we're the only life in this world, but how do we really know that we're the only piece of life on this in this planet? How do we really know that? Imagine Elon Musk and humans trying to take over space, even though we already have Earth. And then the motherfuckers that probably live in space ain't with the shit and they try to fight back. AKA, we all become space colonizers. And then they put all of us in history books and they label humans as ain't shit motherfuckers who stole their land and so on and so forth. I mean, Futurama predicted this, so it's kind of inevitable. And guess what? People who have a problem with it and have an issue with it are going to be called robophobic or robo-mojo-jojo-phobic or robo-transphobic or whatever the fuck phobic that everybody wants to think of. And anyone that's against this whole robotic shit will be called a conspiracy theorist, a robophobe, or more, just for the sole purpose of activism and for the sole purpose of trying to divide people. Because you guys know human beings sometimes are idiots and they will do anything they can to divide themselves and label anybody phobic who doesn't agree with a certain agenda. The only thing you can do now is adapt. Invest your money into the right stocks. Invest your money into assets that you know won't depreciate, that you know won't go down. Get things like life insurance. Put your money in things like cryptocurrency. Buy things like gold. And if you don't do that, buy a generator. Buy things that you know are going to do well for you. Maybe get a degree in something or get a get a certification in things like finances, aka things that are always going to be necessary, and get a certification in things like IT tech, get a certification in things like real estate, things that are always going to be booming and people are always going to be interested in. You know, learn about NFTs, you know, learn about trading, learn about the metaverse, learn about big tech, you know, learn an important skill, invest your assets in certain things. Hell, flee the country if you fucking want to, because I've been having my, you know, conflictions about a lot of things that are going on, and I've been thinking about probably, you know, leaving the country, aka probably going to Mexico, or going to ISIS, no, I'm kidding, or going to North Korea, no, I'm kidding. I've been having my, you know, my beliefs, and I've just been thinking of maybe fleeing the country, because there's so many fucking affordable, amazing, peaceful opportunities out there that don't revolve around America. Like Mexico literally welcomes Americans to come in and invest. Countries like even the Bahamas, so many amazing tax benefits you can invest into there. Costa Rica, New Zealand, France, there's so many countries you can go to that don't have all these fucking insane ass issues. But one thing I will say is this, all you can really do is just adapt. Human beings are adaptable. There's no reason to just go around being all scared and fear-mongered and being paranoid. Notice how a lot of old heads are always complaining about how TV is evil and all this music, because a lot of them haven't adjusted to change. And a lot of times we get annoyed when we hear them complaining about TV and music and this generation this and this generation that. Listen, a lot of y'all may be in their position very soon in the next 20 years when you see robots out here being babysitters and nannies and shit. When we see holograms playing full-blown Academy Award actors. When they make a whole category for simulations and make a whole category for robots and fucking holographs to win awards. Imagine if a whole holograph wins an award. Maybe start a business, or if you're not going to start a business, maybe hold on to your essential job or your government job. Or if you have a 401k plan at your job, make sure you max that shit out. If you get offered a pension plan, don't take advantage of it. Max that shit out, get life insurance, and make sure you take care of yourself. We live in a crazy world right now, but like Cardi B said, it's almost like we're all getting punished. And the reason we're all getting punished is because a lot of us allow the media to dictate and control everything. The media has literally ruined and dictated everything. We, for some reason, have literally allowed the media to divide the entire world. The same media that has painted black people, people of color in a horrible light, promoted Jim Crow, promoted all types of anti-blackness. They're the same media who says that if people don't stand on one fucking knee, then they're not in solidarity or racial solidarity. The same media that's trying to turn every single race against each other, every single sexuality against each other, and every single political belief against each other. The same media that we put our fucking time and effort and energy to is the media that we're all listening to. The same media that's telling us who we should vote for. The same media who's trying to fact check shit, when in reality it's not really fact checking. It's when you read a certain article, it tells you what the fuck you should say and what the fuck you should think and how the fuck you should say things. Because we all know that most media nowadays is biased as fuck, and a lot of it is just opinion based, and none of it ever challenges you to be objective and have an open mind. And that's why there's so much division in the world. It's because a lot of people lack empathy, because they feel like they're right, everyone else is wrong, and that's why everybody's always trying to fight against each other. We all have different beliefs and perspectives in the world, but the reason why everybody's so divided is because everybody wants the same thing. We all want freedom, happiness, liberty, peace, justice, and more. But the issue is, a lot of us won't ever take the initiative to listen to one another. But that was that for this entire video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something from it. And let me know what you guys just gained. Let me know if you guys learned something. Let me know what you guys want to add. And feel free to give me your feedback in my emails, comment section, wherever the fuck. And yeah, that's that. Troyce out this bitch.
I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. I'm gonna fly high, all my tears are high. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Oh, I keep my glasses open tonight. All for tonight, all for tonight. Party goes, don't take away. I go to die. I push it down. I push it down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hold your eyes. I got eyes. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Okay. That's all you get for free. Album on the way. And subscribe to my Patreon. And stream my podcast everywhere. Thank you.